What's going on, guys? Welcome to the newest episode of Fandom Unchained. Today, guys, we're going to start our newest series here on the channel, and that is going to be House of the Dragon. It is finally dropped. I have been waiting for this so long as a huge fan of the Game of Thrones series, and you can check out all of my videos I've done on that right here in the annotation. But as a huge fan, I am so pumped to go into the prequel era for Westeros, where I actually 172 years before the birth of Daenerys. So today we're going to jump into episode number 1 for the premiere of House of the Dragon, guys. I am so pumped. My favorite book out of the entire series is Fire and Blood. So if you haven't read it, check it out. But that's what this show is based off of. Let's get right into this episode, guys. It was a big one. All right, guys, we start off the episode with old King Viserys calling together all of the lords from all over Westeros. They are going to sit down at Harrenhal, and we are going to smash out who the freaking heir is going to be. There are lots of people put their names in the hat and tried to prove why, but there are only two that were in the front of the line. That is Princess Rhaenys and Prince Viserys. Now, guys, obviously Princess Rhaenys is the obvious choice. She is the first in line. She should have got it, but because she is a woman and in this freaking ridiculous crap, women are not allowed to rule. Obviously, we went through the same shit with Dany in the original GOT series, and a lot of people don't want to follow her because she's a woman. But that is a big thing here, and that is a mainstay in this show. All the crazy shit that will come because of the choices that are made putting a woman in charge over the next male heir. Ultimately, Jaehaerys does make a decision, and he chooses Viserys, and that is not just him, that is also chosen by the other lords of the realm. They chose to stick with a man rather than putting a woman in charge. Chauvinistic, I know. Then after this, we get to hear Rhaenyra, who has been giving us the entire monologue in the intro. She is flying Syrax. This is young Rhaenyra. She is flying Syrax over the top of King's Landing. It looks beautiful. Syrax looks fantastic. The dragon is just what I've always wanted. Golden fucking glory. And it is flying over the top of King's Landing. Looks fantastic. Lands in the courtyards outside of the dragon pit. Yes, for all you Game of Thrones fans, guys, the fucking dragon pit, when it was whole. Crazy, I know. When we had it, it looked like this. And Dany landed on the side of it. Crazy. Rhaenyra gets off of Syrax and walks over and finds her friend waiting for her, Alicent Hightower. The Hand of the King's daughter is her best friend in the entire world, and these two are extremely close. The two girls return to court, and Rhaenyra goes straight to her pregnant mother. Aemma is pregnant with King Viserys' son and his heir, and that's what Viserys keeps pushing on everyone. But her daughter, Rhaenyra, is there to check on her because she says no one checks on you. Next, we go to the King's Small Council meeting. They sit together and everyone is there. We get Corvus Valerian, the fucking sea snake. This is someone I've been pumped to see in action. I am so excited. He's there. Otto Hightower is there. The rest of the Small Council is there, and they are discussing some shit. The council mostly is complaining about the king's brother, who is the captain of the King's Watch and is supposed to be part of the council meetings, but never fucking shows up. Daemon Targaryen. Haha. Rhaenyra shows up to do her job as the cupbearer for the king and starts pouring wine for everybody during the council meeting. Then they start to discuss an upcoming tournament that they're throwing for the new heir as he's born. We get to see that Rhaenyra is escorted to the Iron Throne, and as they open the door, guess who we see? We see Daemon fucking Targaryen sitting on the Iron Throne. They have a conversation in Old Valyrian, and he ultimately says, like, this is my chair, this is going to be my chair one day, and she's like, no, there's a new heir, we're having a tournament. Hey, you don't like it, motherfucker? I'm sorry, but yeah, tournament's not for you, it's for the new heir, but you can go ahead and compete. He then presents Rhaenyra with a piece of Dark Sister laid into a necklace. And so he said, both of us have a piece of our home world that we can carry around with us. Yes, Dark Sister is my favorite Valyrian steel sword in all of Westeros, and it is wielded by Daemon fucking Targaryen. That's why he's a gangster. We flash to Rhaenyra and Alicent laying under the godswood, and they are discussing the history of Westeros. And Rhaenyra is kind of ignoring it and saying that she doesn't want any place in power. She wants to just live like she is and go adventure on Cyrax and have a great fucking life. She doesn't want to have responsibility. We go back to King Viserys' room, and they are checking him out because there is a gash that is covered in pus on his back, and he said it's just a wound from sitting upon the Iron Throne. Also later on, we get to see the Iron Throne does cut his finger when he's sitting there, so yes, the Iron Throne is fucking dangerous, guys. Queen Emma is in the bath trying to be comfortable, and when you're pregnant and unfucking comfortable, you know what? There ain't nothing better than a fucking bath. So she is laxing. She is lounging, relaxing on cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. Sorry, lost my train of thought. We see Daemon Targaryen, who is the captain of the King's Watch, standing in front of his army of gold cloaks. Yes, Daemon Targaryen is the one who invented the gold cloaks. The fucking city watch are made by Daemon Targaryen. It was his invention, and I am stoked. He tells them we're going to go out there and we're going to take down all the criminal scum that have infected my brother's city and bring the fucking capital back to where it needs to be. Hell yeah. They start howling. They go out there. They start, oh, thief. Grab the thief, hack his fucking hand off. Oh, thief. Grab the thief, half his fucking hand off. Oh, rapist. Oh, shit, let's cut his dick off and throw it on a fucking log so we all get to look at chopped cock. It was fantastic. Otto is speaking to the king as they're walking into a small council meeting, talking shit about Daemon, thinking he is not going to show the fuck up, and who is there in armor, dirty and shit from murdering a bunch of motherfuckers overnight? Daemon motherfucking Targaryen. My hero. Daemon defends himself, and him and Otto have a pissing contest, and he ends up talking shit about Otto's dead wife and pushing him to the limit. And then Viserys tells him, you know what, both you guys knock the fuck off. The apologies are set. And then he tells him, you know what, Daemon, I mean, what you did might be good, and the City Watch might be a good thing. Who knows? And Daemon gets away with it without any fucking punishment. He does get a warning, though. You need to not do that shit again. Daemon then goes over to the local whorehouse and starts smashing his girl Mysaria. And you know what? He is getting it and getting it. And I'm sitting there the whole time like, Doctor Who is doing what? Yes, Daemon Targaryen Matt Smith is smashing some fucking vag. But then he is having trouble. I think it might be ED. Hit him with that Viagra. We all are at the tournament now. Tournament time is here. Viserys tells everyone, I'm glad everyone's here. This is going to be a great fucking tournament. Good news. Your queen, my wife, Emma, has gone into labor. Baby's on the way. Let's have some fucking fun. We get to see some badass fucking jousting. You get to see Sir Criston Cole rocking everyone's bullshit. Then it all happens. Daemon Targaryen shows up. All the knights line up. Daemon goes and tilts his fucking joust at one of these motherfuckers, and who is he pointing at? He is pointing at the son of Otto fucking Hightower. Yes, the pissing contest ain't over, because now Daemon's gonna take out some revenge on your fucking kid because you're a dick. First lance, Daemon gets fucking wrecked. That shit just blows up in his face. But right away, they snag the next lance, start rolling at it, and Daemon says, you know what, fuck this. Here's for talking shit to me, Otto. And he fucking puts his joust in front of the horse, flipping the entire horse, making Otto's son slam face fucking first and drag across the floor while the horse flips over on him. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. And the whole time, the king's just like, just smiling. I'm like, brah. Brother almost murdered this motherfucker. The king gets news that his wife is going into labor and having issues though, so he rushes to go help her. So as the king leaves, a fight breaks out between a couple of the knights. They ends up getting pretty rough, and one of the knights puts an axe through the other one's face. Then you see another knight and another dude fucking brawling, and boom, his brains and shit get blasted all over the fucking wall. It was pretty savage. Princess Rhaenys and her husband Corvus, they actually start talking about how this kind of savagery has not really happened around here since Maegor. Now, if you don't know, Maegor was a descendant of these motherfuckers, and he was one of the last major riders for Valerian the Black Dread, the biggest and oldest freaking dragon that we'd later on see his skull in this episode. And they called his ass Maegor the Cruel. He was fucked up. Grand Maester pulls King Viserys to the side and explains to him, shit's going down. Your wife cannot get the baby out. His ass is inverted. He is definitely breech, not happening. And she may die. You may have to make a decision that you got to kill your wife to save the child, or they both could die. And this is fucked up because this is the love of his fucking life. This is a woman he loves more than anything. And this is going to break him. Back at the tourney, Criston Cole and Daemon Targaryen line up to start jousting. This shit is intense, and they go in, they crack each other once, crack each other twice. Then we flash back to the queen who's dying in pain as they start to pull her down and prep to cut her stomach open and remove the baby, even though she's gonna die. She doesn't like this, and Viserys has the fucked up part of having to help hold her down along with the nurses while they cut the baby out of her, all while flashing back to Daemon getting knocked the fuck off his horse and Criston Cole and him getting down and starting to fight with Dark Sister and a fucking spiked mace. This shit is getting intense, all while the queen is basically being murdered to try to save the baby. The fight between the two men is actually pretty fucking amazing. They are rocking the shit out of each other. Daemon gets the upper hand, but starts to gloat like a fucking jackass. And ultimately, as we watch the queen die and bleed out and the baby is pulled from her, we get to see Daemon get knocked on his fucking ass. Criston Cole gets over the top and with the mace and tells him to yield. He ultimately does yield. He drops his blade and gets up being a bitch about it. Viserys is left just destroyed over his wife's body and just crying so bad, while we get to see Sir Criston Cole walk up and ask for Rhaenyra's favor, and she gives it to him. And it was a good time. I saw a little spark right there. Sir Criston Cole's a good-looking cat, and she's a good-looking chick. So, yeah. I know it's not what happens, but still. Then we get to go out and see the funeral pyre set up for Queen Aemma. Guys, this is a sad moment. You can see Viserys is fucking wrecked hard. You can see Rhaenyra is wrecked hard. Even Daemon looks like he's going to fucking cry. Now, we get to see the body is prepared and laid on the funeral pyre, and as it pans out, we see the baby's body, dude. We get to see the baby's body, dude. Balon died. Like, the baby was born. We heard him crying. He fucking died, man. This is fucked up. I started crying like a bitch right here. I was like, fucking baby died. Fuck. Then Rhaenyra has the hard time, and she is just wrecked by it as well, having to say goodbye to her mother and her brother now. And just her dad can't even like look anywhere else but watch his wife's body. And then Syrax is called down, and Rhaenyra gives the command, Dracarys. It's time for the fires. Syrax torches the pyre up, putting everyone to rest and laying the queen to rest finally, along with young Balon. Sad days. Right after the funeral, there's a council meeting, and Otto Hightower does not fucking waste any time and jumps into, hey, King, we need to fucking do this and get you a goddamn heir, or we need to name your oldest child, Rhaenyra, as your heir. Corvus Valerian has a problem with this. He already has an heir, Daemon Targaryen. Then when he hears, hey, we might look for some other heirs, Corvus Valerian's like, hey, my motherfucking wife has the best heir, and my son, I got a male heir. He could be the fucking king. And they're all, shut the hell up, Corvus. No one's talking to you. You don't get a say in this. Ultimately, they do agree on Rhaenyra. Otto, after the meeting, meets with his daughter and tells her, you should go visit the king in his chambers. And she's like, in his bedchambers? He's like, yes, go be supportive of the king and be there for him. And wear something pretty that your mom wore. I'm like, damn, you motherfucker, you're already out here pimping your daughter out. You're trying to push her on the king. Hey, he don't got a vagina. Go lay down with him. That's fucked up. Alicent goes and makes a great impression on the king, sits with him in his time of mourning and reads a book to him and tells him, you know what? Hey, I want to tell you I'm very sorry because when my mother died, I just wanted someone to come tell me they're sorry that it happened and no one ever did. So I'm sorry, truly. And they talk and they start to have this connection. You could kind of see what's gonna go down, and it's all daddy's plan. Then we get to see Daemon Targaryen celebrating with his men, the gold cloaks, in a whorehouse. He bought out the whole whorehouse, got everyone a bunch of hookers, and it's game time. Mysaria comes up to him and tells him, you know what, you need to give a speech, and gets everyone's attention. This one dude literally doesn't pull his dick out of the whore he's in. He just turns around and watches. And I'm just, the whole time, I'm like, he's still balls deep in that hooker, and he's just listening. Is he going to pull out? I couldn't help myself. I was like, is he ever going to pull out? What the fuck? But ultimately, they do start talking, and they explain what Daemon said. Daemon starts to give a speech celebrating that he is still the heir and that his nephew was heir for a day. And this was a big fucking joke, and everyone laughed, Daemon included, and it gets told to the king by Otto Hightower. And holy shit, the king is fucking furious. He pulls Daemon into the Iron Throne Room and he tells him, did you say it? Daemon's like, yeah, I did. He's like, well, motherfucker, you need to get the fuck out of King's Landing, take your shit, pack your motherfuckers, get your ass back there and go, by the order of the king, go be with your goddamn wife, you piece of shit. Get out of here. Fuck you. My favorite part of this scene, though, is when Daemon starts to think he's hard and step towards his brother, and all four of the King's Guard just whoosh, pull the fucking swords out. I'm like, come on, bitch, try it. Then we get to the scene I was waiting for. Viserys sits down with Rhaenyra and talks to her next to the skull of Balerion the Black Dread, the most gangster-ass fucking dragon ever, and talks about the old days, they can't repeat the same shit, and that one day she's going to be queen. Reveals it to her, and she is just shocked. What? Are you serious? What, did you hit your head? No, but he tells her and gets all this information, asks her, what do you see when you think of the dragons? And she's like, without the dragons, we're just normal people. People think we're gods. We're not. And that's what he wanted to hear. He wanted someone humble to be able to take his place. And that is what Rhaenyra is. She doesn't think that the dragons make her a god. They are things that they use and they connections with. And it was just awesome. Like this whole speech he gave her. Then we get to see all the lords of the Seven Kingdoms taking a knee, pledging their allegiance to King Viserys and his heir Rhaenyra Targaryen. The only one that really gave any kind of like hesitation was that bearded Baratheon motherfucker who got his ass whooped on the field. Yeah. He was like, do I really want a woman? Really? And I'm like, get on your fucking knees, bitch. While all this is going on and the oaths are being said, we get to see Daemon Targaryen walk out to the dragon pit and meet with his dragon, Caraxes the fucking Bloodworm, who is my favorite Targaryen dragon from all of the books. Caraxes is my dog, and in this shot, we get to see this big, long-necked son of a bitch with, like, wings on the back leg. It's fucking awesome. Caraxes looks way better than I could have ever imagined. It looks fantastic. We got to see Daemon and Mysaria mount that bitch and head the fuck out while Rhaenyra is getting pledges of the allegiance of the major houses of the Seven Kingdoms for her to be the fucking heir. Whew. Honestly, guys, this premiere was fucking fantastic. I was so excited for this show. I could not even just wait. I was so pumped. I could not wait. It was everything I wanted, everything I could have asked for. It was so fucking good that I am just pumped for the rest of this season. Matt Smith was fan-fucking-tastic as Daemon Targaryen, hitting the sad notes, hitting the angry notes, hitting the cocky piece of shit notes, just like we wanted from a character like Daemon. Paddy Considine was fantastic as Viserys. I loved him. When he got angry, I felt it. He is just a great actor. Now, we have not got to see the older version of Rhaenyra, which is the one I'm looking forward to the most. But young Rhaenyra is fucking awesome, guys. And I really do like the actress they got for Alicent as well. She's fantastic as well. Everyone is doing such a good job. Otto Hightower was someone that I wanted to trust in, but at the same time was reluctant because I felt like he had his own schemes going on, which is kind of the feeling I think they intended for the character. Personally, I just thought it was fantastic all around. Nothing compares. I am pumped and ready for the rest of this shit to go down, guys. You let me know your thoughts on House of the Dragon, Episode 1, down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys let me know how I did on my video as well. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with all the videos we put out every week. We will be covering House of the Dragon. It will be dropping every Monday as it airs on Sunday night. I will be dropping my video every Monday, so make sure you subscribe. Keep up with all that. Check out all the playlists and fun videos we have. And I will see you guys next time right here on Fandom Unchained. All right, guys. Peace out.